250 years of pharmacy research, mirrored in one pocket-sized garden. 18th century ship doctor pioneers scientific health remedies 200 years ahead of his time. Your numbers are worse than your last visit, my doctor told me. Her voice was clinical and unfriendly. And 1,000 miles away. I sat there, like a deer in the headlights. I'd gone in for my regular checkup and blood work with high hopes. I was so proud of the changes I made to my diet and exercise. And thought my doctor's report would be good news. But instead of a good report, it felt like a punch to the gut. How is this even possible? I insisted. I've done everything just like you said. Well, your bad LDL cholesterol and triglycerides are still way above the acceptable range. They've gone up, not down, she said, pointing at my chart. This has a big impact on your blood pressure, which is now in the unacceptable range. 1. This, in turn, puts you at greater risk for other problems with your heart. 2. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you we really need to get control of this with the right medications. Based on your numbers, it's the only way to stop this dangerous trend. One more bad report like this, and there might not be anything more I can do. My doctor's report left me in stunned silence. Now, I know I'm not alone in hearing heartbreaking news just like this one. Millions of Americans are fighting health big battles just like this every day. 3. High cholesterol, heart problems, joint pain, thyroid problems, erratic blood sugar, weight gain, memory loss, and the list goes on and on. But like millions of Americans, I've become concerned about the slippery slope of prescription drugs and their unpredictable and potentially dangerous side effects. 4. And after that heartbreaking meeting with my doctor, I thought the professional pharmacy approach was my only option to restore my health and my hope. But I was wrong. Message essential for anyone struggling with any health challenge. Hi, I'm Donna Nicholson, and the message I have to share with right now is essential for anyone struggling with any health challenge that keeps them feeling like they're in a constant uphill battle. That's because in the next 5 minutes, I'll share all about a chance encounter with a near ancient grandmother who helped me get the edge on my bad cholesterol trend almost overnight, using 100% natural herbal remedies I grew in my own backyard. I'll also share with you the multiple clinical studies backing up these all-natural ingredients and remedies. 5. I'll tell you all about how my family threw away 7 different RX meds and OTC pills in less than a month. We're now healthier and happier than ever. Asterisk results may vary. And I'll share with you the one simple secret I learned in that chance encounter that can help empower anyone to easily address virtually any health challenge 100% naturally, from the comfort of their own home. 6. Avoid the unpredictable and often life-threatening side effects of preventative drugs. 7. Take control of their own health, so they're not at the mercy of the industrial medical complex. 8. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes from supporting your health with scientifically proven and time-honored all-natural ingredients. Now I'll share more about these scientific studies in just a minute. But please tune in right now. Are becoming more and more apprehensive about turning to chemicals foreign to our systems. 9. That can end up stealing their health from them. What's more, I guarantee this solution is so completely different in its approach. It's unlike anything the majority of Americans have ever used before. That's because this approach takes the best nature has to offer and directs it where it's needed most. Just like Mother Nature intended. Sadly, it's something the majority of medical professionals have never even been trained for. 10. But independent researchers are now confirming these natural remedies are often as effective, if not more effective, than the traditional approach. 11. So, in just a few moments from now, I'll share the one secret that can revolutionize any family's health 100% naturally. I'll spill the beans on the simple pocket-sized herbal system 250 years in the making. And I'll share how to have direct access to everything needed to get health under control. Quickly, safely, naturally, and effectively. I feel it's important to mention that the complete system I'm sharing has hundreds of testimonials from people who have used the secrets it contains to radically improve their health by easily growing their own backyard healing remedies. I feel duty-bound to say that it's likely that what I'm revealing in this free presentation may ruffle some feathers. There are many with vested interests in keeping a lid on this information. That's why those who want healthy, all-natural remedies to the most pressing health concerns should tune in very carefully today. Because this all-natural, at-home solution may change everything for those with any number of health challenges. Based on the scientific research I've reviewed, and based on what I've seen in my own family, I'm confident that anyone who considers this all-natural solution will benefit greatly from this 100% natural family health resource. First though, let me tell you a little more about myself and how I discovered this backyard health solution. So, like I mentioned, my name is Donna Nicholson. First and foremost, I'm a wife and a mother. Plus I have a part-time job at an insurance company. We live a fairly simple life in the Midwest. Our kids are in sports. We attend church when we can. I help out in my kids' classrooms. And we've had many of the same health challenges most Americans have. I've struggled with high cholesterol. My husband has high blood pressure. One of my kids has allergies. And another struggles with ADHD. Like I said, we're pretty much like many American families. Unlike most American families, trips to the pharmacy for prescription meds were a regular occurrence. But, because of what I was seeing with my own eyes, with friends and family and seeing more and more news reports and studies, I began to have my doubts about traditional remedies. 12, 13, 14, 15. And it was just after that fateful doctor's visit, where I was scared for my life, thinking I would have to start popping more pills, that I ran into Grandma Mary for the first time at a Saturday farmer's market. While I was looking for some local honey, I came to a booth called Grandma Mary's Herbs. Inside the booth was most vibrant lady, who could hardly be described as a grandma. Her smile, her glow, her energy, defied age. I later found out Grandma Mary was 87. Grandma Mary's booth was filled with hundreds of potted herbs and plants bursting with life and vitality. Hanging on each potted herb was a 3x5 card with suggestions of what the herb could be used for. Obviously, some herbs had uses inside the kitchen, but others were filled with uses for outside the kitchen. There were herb recipes to help aid with digestion. My husband needed that one. Another helped fight off fatigue, which I desperately needed. Still another helped with natural brain health, to help prevent memory loss. Seeing all these cards made a light bulb go off in my head: my cholesterol. Without hesitation, I made a beeline for Grandma Mary. I told her all about my doctor's report and asked if she had something natural to help. I'm sure she noticed my desperation, because she smiled at me so compassionately. She took me to the back of her booth and pulled out an amber bottle with a golden tincture in it. She turned to me and said, "Take this once a day for a month, then go get your numbers checked, and come back to tell me how you're doing." I asked her how much I owed her. With a wink, she replied, "It's on me today. See you in a month or so." I took it home and opened it up. The aroma filled my room with a beautiful golden scent, not like some chemically laced concoction. I took the tincture every day for the next several weeks. Went to the lab and got my blood work done. When I read the numbers, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. I had to choke back tears. I hadn't seen LDL and triglyceride numbers like that in 5 years. 16. So when the next Saturday rolled around, I was at the farmer's market the very second it opened. I rushed up to Grandma Mary smiling from ear to ear. She simply grinned and said, "Numbers looking better. I take it." Well, I made a regular habit out of visiting Grandma Mary's farmer's market booth. Eventually, I asked the million-dollar question: "Where did you learn all your remedies, Grandma Mary?" "Well, you'll just have to come over for tea tomorrow and find out." After church the next day I sat with Grandma Mary at a white bistro table under a gazebo teeming with verdant vines and flowers bursting with color. We drank a delicious herbal tea blended from herbs in Mary's luscious garden. She pulled out a weathered leather notebook from her tote. "This," she began, "belonged to my grandfather. He was a doctor on a merchant ship in the 1800s. They sailed the globe, buying and selling textiles and spices. They had to endure storms, battle injuries and diseases, and outrun pirates. In every port, my grandfather would collect herbs and remedies from the countries and cultures he visited. He eventually created a system for growing these healing herbs in an almost impossible place, in a ship at sea. When I unexpectedly inherited this notebook, I just figured if he could grow and maintain his own pocket garden on a ship, I could do the same in my own backyard. The rest, as they say, is history. As Grandma Mary began to leaf through handwritten notes and beautifully drawn illustrations, I began to see what she meant by this ship doctor's system for healing herbs. It was more than just remedies and concoctions. It was an entire system for growing healing herbs. On his ships, he developed small, but bountiful, pocket-sized gardens that provided health-giving remedies to the crew. She showed me diary entries of how a remedy from India helped crew members get rid of a strange fever. Overnight, I saw notes of how a poultice helped heal his captain's infected wound in record time. I was completely blown away. In awe, I asked her if there's anything her notebook didn't cover. Grandma Mary replied, "Not that I've found yet." In a moment of inspiration, I said, "Grandma Mary, we have to transfer these secrets onto a computer so there's no chance they ever get lost." That led to Grandma Mary and I spending long months huddled around that notebook, transferring her grandfather's secrets to my laptop. Along the way, we double and triple checked her grandfather's remedies against the latest scientific research to confirm these were proven effective remedies, and not just a collection of old wives' tales. As we worked together, and as I dug into the research on my computer, what I discovered confirmed many of my doubts and suspicions about traditional remedies. And it confirmed that the work I was doing with Grandma Mary was more important than ever. I needed Grandma Mary's secret system, even more than I thought I did. Especially since I was smack dab in the middle of my middle-age years. And my family and I relied on multiple medications. We were more than ready to get off. Which is why this collection of Grandma Mary's secret knowledge became more important than ever. As I learned Grandma Mary's ways, I quickly put them into practice. I'm proud to report that, within a few short months of starting my own healing garden in my backyard, my family and I were able to say goodbye to 7 different RX and OTC meds. And we've never felt better or been healthier. And that includes my husband's high blood pressure medications, my son's ADHD medication, my daughter's allergy medication, and my joint pain relief meds. Asterisk results may vary, and that's just to name 4. Plus, by growing our own remedies, we'll save more than $541 over the next year on our medical bills. That's over $45 per month. I'm so thankful to be rid of all those strange chemicals and worrying about their side effects. It's no wonder my husband started calling my garden our backyard pharmacy. Eventually, there came a point where I knew Grandma Mary and I just could not keep this to ourselves. It just wouldn't be right to withhold this health-boosting, life-saving information. So Grandma Mary and I showed it to a very small group of my friends. Afterwards, Betsy said, "Donna, I went through this twice. I'm so surprised at how easy you guys made it. I used to think gardening was hard and that my back couldn't take it. You and Grandma Mary made me feel like you with me every step of the way." Liz said, "I have a brand new sense of peace I never had before. I knew the dangers of pharmaceuticals but had no idea the alternative was so powerful and so simple." Suzanne commented, "This is hands down the easiest guide I could ever imagine when it comes to growing my own remedies. This is faster and cheaper than what I used to do." When we heard this, we knew we needed to do whatever it took to let others know about this almost lost secret information. I'm proud to report that we found a way to do just that. I asked my loving husband if we could take some money out of his retirement account, so we could print a real book with real pictures on real pages, and get Grandma Mary's secrets out to the world. Fortunately, he said yes, so we took the plunge and pre-ordered 500 real-life books. It drained thousands from my husband's 401k. But to all of us, it's 100% worth it to have this powerful knowledge at your fingertips. But to all of us, it's 100% worth it to have this powerful knowledge at your fingertips. We're calling it backyard healing herbs. So, if you're concerned about the side effects traditional remedies, and if you'd like an easy as pie Masterclass from Grandma Mary on using nature's bounty to remedy the health concerns that face your family. And if you'd like to grow your own remedies in your own backyard, no matter how large or small your garden area is, regardless of your gardening experience, then I'm excited to share Backyard Healing Herbs with you. It's 260 full pages. In a real-life book, you can refer day after day, and even pass down to your children as an heirloom. So, here's a small taste of what you'll discover inside the 260-page Backyard Healing Herbs. How this one miracle plant helps support healthy cholesterol and blood pressure levels. Plus how this same miracle plant helps regulate your metabolism, making it easier to lose weight and keep it off. 17. Researchers at a leading Michigan university demonstrated that when this miracle plant is combined with one common kitchen spice, its effectiveness soared by 2,000%. Miracle plant indeed. 18. The Sunshine Surprise remedy with 3 power-packed herbal flowers that helps lift the burden of anxiety, stress, and pressure, giving you a breezy, sun-kissed summer's day, unless you live on a tropical beach sipping margaritas all day, with servants bringing you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then is the one remedy you must have to support you with the daily stresses of life. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine found these flowering herbs significantly reduced stress, pressure, and anxiety. 19. Why this one herb, scientifically researched by the Michigan University of Health 20, is a bulletproof pain relief remedy with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. This means you now have a powerful all-natural alternative to the traditional approach to anti-inflammatories. 21. How to upgrade your energy with a 100% natural power drink from this little-known garden plant. This secretly powerful perennial herb was so coveted for its ability to boost energy that it constantly sparked wars in the Far East to control the forests where it thrives. This simple power drink recipe could not be easier. All it takes is 5 ounces of water and 5 minutes of your time to feel a no-caffeine energy boost. Not long into our project, I asked Grandma Mary if we could accomplish the same results by just getting supplements from the local health food store or Amazon. But during my research, I was surprised to learn that most of the big health supplement companies are owned by the same mega corporations that own pharmaceutical companies. 22. After reading that, I wasn't too excited to give any of them another dime. Plus, for our budget, it felt like I'd need a car-sized loan just to try and keep my family healthy. 23. That's why discovering Grandma Mary's system was such a godsend. You'll also be learning how you, or someone you love, can say so long to sleepless nights. Getting enough sleep isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Regular poor sleep puts us at risk of increased weight gain, heart problems, and erratic blood sugar, not to mention shortening your lifespan. 24. 25. But getting naturally regular, good sleep helps improve memory, boost immunity, manage weight, boost mental well-being, support health blood sugar levels, plus a whole lot more. 26. Drink this deliciously simple valerian root tea recipe, and enjoy the most naturally blissful sleep of your life. Why this dandelion tea recipe blend will be your go-to remedy for intestinal issues. Like constipation, diarrhea, gas, and bloating. Proper digestion is a godsend. Grandma Mary's blend helps support the kind of digestion God intended. How to blend purple passion flower to quickly calm a palpitating heart. According to WebMD, the majority of heart palpitations are a result of stress. 27. Grandma Mary's unique passion flower tea recipe helps calm a racing heart. Now, typical gardens are a ton of work. In fact, I had started countless gardens when my kids were younger, only to abandon them because of overwhelmed I got with weeding, watering, bending over, pest control, gophers, birds, etc. It just never seemed worth all the trouble. That is, until Grandma Mary showed me the ship doctor's method for easily growing a healing garden anywhere. This 150-year-old growing system makes growing your own remedies in any space easy as pie. Garden size and climate limitations irrelevant. Preventing the danger of mysterious side effects. Everyday easy. Traditional gardening headaches obsolete. This is simply the easiest, fastest, and simplest approach to gardening. That guarantees your family is in the safest, most trustworthy hands on the planet, yours. If Grandma Mary's grandfather could grow the remedies to keep his crew healthy on a ship, you can do it where you live. How to avoid overthinking your garden and suffering the complicated and costly mistakes that haunt most home gardeners like a shadow. Simply follow Grandma Mary's simple system, and you'll be up and running in no time, avoiding all the costly, time-consuming, and frustrating mistakes the majority of gardeners make. You could spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars following the herd of gardeners throwing time and money at conventional gardening methods. Grandma Mary's nearly infallible mason jar soil test to ensure your soil never lacks the proper nutrients. If you want to give your plants and herbs all the nutrient-rich benefits you want, need, and deserve, perform this test today. Why spend hundreds on a fancy soil test, then wait for weeks, when Grandma Mary's mason jar test will get you the results you want? How to skyrocket your herbs' potency using the Guardian method. This method helps ensure nothing in your herb garden gets infected by foreign chemicals like pesticides, fungicides, or artificial fertilizers, including your seeds, soil, containers, even your water. By now, you might also be thinking, I can just buy these herbs, flowers and plants at the store, and avoid planting a garden. Again, I thought that too. So, I asked Grandma Mary about this. She showed me some research that raised some concerns. Here are just a few. The frightening reason why. The New York Times, Consumer Reports, and Time magazine all said, you should avoid store-bought, fresh foods, and herbs due to an overabundance of toxic chemicals. 28, 29, 30, 31. The simple but shocking science behind why store-bought 32 turmeric may be flushing money down the toilet. But why homegrown turmeric is a true anti-inflammatory antioxidant superfood. 33. Why Scientific American and the University of Texas reported that over-farmed soil has emptied crops of vital minerals and vitamins present decades ago. 34, 35. Making store-bought fruits and vegetables mostly empty. I want my family to get all the vital benefits from the herbs, vegetables, and fruits they eat. Sadly, the only way to do this is to grow your own. Why you should never buy pots, planters, or containers at the big box stores due to soil sterilizing chemicals used to make them look pretty. Why you could treat the next infection in your family with the germ-busting blend of echinacea and cornflower extract. The Centers for Disease Control calls antibiotic resistance as one of the biggest public health challenges of our time. Each year in the U.S., at least 2 million people get an antibiotic-resistant infection, which creates complications. 36. This unique elixir helps fight infection 100% naturally, without the concern of antibiotic resistance. So you can fight infection with peace of mind. The strange ginger recipe the University of Exeter proved can help treat nausea and vomiting. 37. How to reduce throbbing headaches to clear-headed bliss in minutes with this blended peppermint rub. This expert blend is based on clinical trials reported by a leading European medical journal. 38. The study found it as effective as traditional remedies. How to blend healing elixirs perfect the first time and leave uncertainty and costly experimentation in the dust for good. You'll discover the complete list of superhero herbs, the 24 plants that have at least 5 medical uses each. Example: turmeric alone has over 10 proven medical benefits, from pain relief and anti-inflammation to helping support heart and brain health. You'll get a variety of echinacea-based elixir recipes that help boost nearly every body system. NCCIH 39 reports these elixirs can help boost your immune system, get sick less, aid healthy gums, support healthy joints, manage acid indigestion, and more. The PMS-busting recipe that helps send and flow packing when the time of the month comes knocking. This Grandma Mary exclusive can be combined as a tincture. or as a tea infusion. Share this with anyone who struggles with Aunt Flo's monthly visit. Backyard healing herbs is the smart, simple, and easy way to pharmacy independence. This is hands down the simplest, easiest to use A to Z blueprint that anyone can use to make their own healing remedies from their very own pocket-sized garden. No matter if someone has never gardened before or have tried before and failed. No matter if someone has limited space or live in an extreme climate. No matter if someone is a gardening expert. Look, when Grandma Mary showed me this simple system, I knew I'd found my own little slice of the Garden of Eden. People can now easily grow virtually everything needed to take care of a family's health in a garden that requires not much more than a postage stamp sized area. And that requires a minimum of time. Just plant the herbs and plants using the ship doctor's system. Harvest them, and follow Grandma Mary's clear and easy to follow instructions. Everything needed to keep S family healthy, strong, and protected from the side effects of traditional remedies. Here's our promise. If someone can read a table of contents and follow simple directions, they'll have everything needed to make their very own pocket-sized Garden of Eden and have a forever fruitful source of healing herbs and remedies. If anyone wants to avoid spending hours and hours a week bending, weeding, watering and working. If anyone wants to be pharmacy independent. If anyone wants 100% natural and trustworthy ingredients. If anyone wants healthy, effective remedies at their fingertips. And if anyone's ever wanted a simple, easy, and fun way to create an unlimited all-natural medicine cabinet, then those prayers have been answered. Backyard Healing Herbs is an heirloom quality book, worthy of passing down to the next generation. With detailed step-by-step instructions to plant, grow, and maintain a pocket-sized garden that produces the plants, herbs, and remedies every American family needs and deserves. It's a step-by-step, newbie-friendly system that puts God's honest herbs and remedies at your fingertips in a matter of days, not weeks, months, or years, so anyone can confidently address virtually any family's health needs and slash monthly medication bills to near zero, all while saving your valuable time. Most of all, it will give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your family is getting the best nature has to offer. Backyard Healing Herbs is chock full of specialized knowledge handed down from generation to generation, saving months of painful trial and error. It took Grandma Mary and her forebears more than 200 years to perfect the remedies and growing strategies that now make it easy as pie to be super successful right out of the gate. Grandma Mary's system is about as hands-free as it gets. Unlike traditional gardens, there's zero wasted time with needless weeding and the back breaking up and down that's hard on a body. Now, one comment I've gotten is this: Donna, this all sounds too good to be true. Will I be able to follow Grandma Mary's directions, even if I'm 75 and never had a garden and don't know if I have enough room? First, don't forget, this is Grandma Mary's system, and she's 87. But the real answer is this: following the Backyard Healing Herbs system is simple, quick, and easy. Sure, there's some planting to do. If someone want a little help potting plants and lifting soil, that's totally okay. Once we were finished with our manuscript, I printed a copy and gave it to Veronica, my teenage neighbor, who had never planted a thing in her life. And I challenged her to pick just 5 herbs and start a garden. Veronica was up and running with a beautiful pocket-sized garden in a matter of days. All that to say, if you don't want to do it yourself, you could pay a teenager $40 to do it for you. Truth is, if you have kids in your life, they're going to love doing it with you. My own kids have laid claim to their own corners of my own garden. Backyard Healing Herbs is the solution. For anyone who wants 100% natural and effective alternatives to traditional remedies and unpredictable side effects. For anyone who wants the A to Z step-by-step blueprint for the fastest and easiest way to cultivate the healing remedies a family needs and deserves, in just minutes a day. Now, even though Grandma Mary and I have tried to make this system as complete as possible, We know there will always be questions that pop up now and again. That's why, with the book, you also get 12 months of unlimited email access, where you can ask us just about anything related to backyard healing herbs. Oh, and there's more. And this is important. Grandma Mary and I have gathered some other powerful secrets since we pulled the trigger on publishing our big 260-page book. We're planning on putting all that information, and more, into our next version of Backyard Healing Herbs. But, since this brand new information is in digital format right now, I can include these 4 secret healing guides as a free gift to anyone who orders today. But be forewarned. These free bonus healing guides could come off the table at any time, once we're ready to publish the next version of Backyard Healing Herbs. Here's a brief description of the 4 free special guides I'll include when you order today. Free guide number 1. Natural Healing Secrets of Native Americans. Retail. $39. Native Americans had powerful, centuries-old healing remedies long before Europeans showed up. Their very existence was based on living in harmony with nature in every way possible. They expertly utilized natural resources like mullein, mint, salali gatoga, valerian root, wild black cherry, witch hazel, geranium, and willow bark, to keep their families strong and healthy. And that's just to name a few. In this 100% free guide, you'll discover a host of Native American healing secrets. Grandma Mary and I have also included some of their most prized preservation secrets for perishable ingredients, so you needn't worry about electricity or refrigeration. There's also a section on Native American superfoods that, when prepared properly, help sustain health and help you recover from illnesses faster. You're going to love this simple and powerful collection of healing secrets. Free guide number 2. Wild Edibles. Retail. $39. This one-of-a-kind guide could truly be the difference between life or death for you or a family member. Getting lost in the wilderness happens more frequently than we care to think. But your peace of mind will soar knowing you have this critical guide at your fingertips. You'll discover how to spot edible mushrooms, and the ones to avoid like the plague. You'll learn how to easily identify edible tulips, berries, nuts, and more. Even if you're in a desert area, you'll know how to easily pick out safe food sources like prickly pear cactus, saguaro cactus, desert Christmas cactus, chia sage, agave, pinyon pine, mesquite, chala cactus, and yucca. We'll also give you the simple, wild edibles litmus test, to determine if any plant is edible or poisonous. You'll never be uncertain whether a wild plant is edible or not. Free guide number 3. Veggies you can grow in your backyard for self-sufficiency. Retail. $39. Look, I don't know about you, but I often worry about crisis and emergency scenarios. Ones that threaten our food supply, our electrical grid, or our water supply. That doesn't make me one of those crazy survival nuts. I simply want to be confident in taking care of my family in the event of a crisis or emergency. I now grow enough food, and more, in my backyard to feed my family, come what may, no matter the season. And I don't spend hours and hours weeding my garden because I've learned some powerful cultivation secrets I'll pass on in this free guide. This critical special guide covers how to grow some of the most healthy and hearty foods that do better than most backyard gardens at supplying plentiful food for your family. This guide covers 3 different gardening methods so you can easily grow healthy, nutrient-rich, and vitamin-filled foods like arugula, beets, broccoli, carrots, tomatoes, chickweed, dandelion, green beans, kale, pomegranate, rosemary, berries, and more. Whether it's a short-term natural disaster or a long-term infrastructure failure, you'll do your family and your peace of mind a huge favor with this free special guide. Free guide number 4. The Shoebox Garden. Retail. $39. This free guide is specifically designed for anyone living with limited square footage. Lots of Americans don't even have a yard. Urbanites, students, retirement communities, anywhere where space is at a premium. We cover everything from the right shoebox sized containers to choose for soil, light, water, and drainage considerations. You'll have brilliantly creative strategies to leverage hanging baskets, running planters, and genius tips for vertical gardening. You'll discover how to create an upside-down garden, and the plants that thrive in them. And we'll show you how to easily build your own terrariums for growing healing herbs. These are indispensable in tight areas. We've also included the 14 best vegetables that thrive in small spaces. This special guide a must-have for anyone with limited square footage. And it's yours free when you order today. Now, like I said, these special guides will be included in our next version of Backyard Healing Herbs. That's the good news. The bad news is we're going to have to raise the price of Backyard Healing Herbs by at least $15. Just to afford the next round of printing. My husband said our next order of books is on us. No more dipping into his retirement account. Like I said, we had to pay for all 500 of these books up front. To our surprise, they're selling faster than we expected. I truly want you to get your own copy today, before we have to raise the price. Think about it. If you order today, you're getting 4 free bonuses worth $156. Plus, you're saving $15 by avoiding the coming cost increase. That's like me handing you $171 just for ordering today. Now, before I tell you how you can get your hands on Backyard Healing Herbs, let me ask a very important question. How much is it worth to you to see your family healthy, safe, and free from the unpredictable side effects of traditional remedies? If this book helps eliminate just one side effect, if it finally allows someone to kick an expensive prescription medication to the curb, saving hundreds each and every year, and providing the satisfaction that you weren't lining the pockets of the big pharma fat cats, and if it finally give you the peace of mind that you deserve, knowing you've done your best to keep your family healthy, safe, and strong, how much would that be worth? You could try buying all these health-giving plants and herbs from a retailer, which could cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But remember, most of what you can buy at your local health food store doesn't have near the level of health-giving nutrients your homegrown produce will. Remember what I mentioned earlier. Over-farming has ruined the nutritional value of most store-bought plants and herbs. Or, you could spend months and months researching for yourself. Spend countless hours of trial and error, trying to get the planting system just right, and trying to find the healing remedies that actually work, and still be right back where you started. But honestly, the costliest approach is to do nothing. The truth is, most people will simply sit on their hands and maintain the status quo, risking their health and their family's health to big pharma's profit-pushing experimentation and mystery side effects that seem to pop up out of nowhere. But once you take in Backyard Healing Herbs, the possibilities are endless. Now, I had a marketing expert approach me and tell me he could turn Grandma Mary's knowledge into an exclusive weekend seminar and charge $1,250 a seat. With so many health-conscious rich baby boomers out there, I'm pretty sure we could sell it out. But frankly, Grandma Mary and I have very little interest in traveling around giving seminars across the country. We honestly love spending time with our families way too much to do that. These remedies were born from the idea that anyone living anywhere should be able to grow their own remedies right where they live, no matter their socioeconomic status. So, there's no way we're going to ask you to invest $1,250 in this system. Even though I know this information is that valuable, it won't cost you $600 either. Truth is, it won't even cost you $275. Even though my husband tells me that's what I should charge to replenish his 401k. Grandma Mary and I decided to do something that might sound a bit off to sales and marketing sharks. We're going to set the price of Backyard Healing Herbs at just $69. But while this very first edition of the book is available, we'll let you have the system for just $39 today. The only way to secure your copy at this price is to click the Add to Cart button now. We can't guarantee that it will be available tomorrow. And like I said, once we sell out, we're going to have to raise the price by at least $15. So, don't get upset if you come back here in a few days and see that the price has gone back up. Especially since we're giving away 12 months of unlimited email support. In reality, the price is immaterial. That's because you're covered by our Grandma Strong money-back guarantee for a full 60 days. Here's how this works. Grandma Mary and I are asking you to just say, maybe. 2. Backyard Healing Herbs. Today. Get the book. Look it over and try it out for 60 days. If you've ever read a table of contents, you have everything it takes to make this system work for you. We insist that you must be completely thrilled with how easy it is to create your own pocket-size healing garden. But if you're not, simply email us and tell us you're unhappy, and we'll issue you a full refund with no hassle and 0 questions asked. What's more, you don't even have to send the book back. Keep it as our gift for trying out Grandma Mary's life's work. Now some might ask, how strong is a Grandma Strong guarantee? Try this on for size. Grandma Mary is so confident that her grandfather's system is the simplest and easiest system for growing a healing garden, that we're willing to bet our own money that anyone can do this. So, if for some reason you tried to grow a healing garden using Grandma Mary's system and couldn't, just send us some proof that you at least tried, and we'll refund you whatever you paid for supplies. Up to $150. That's how strong Grandma Strong is. Has a doctor or pharmacist ever offered you a satisfaction guarantee like that? Simply click the Add to Cart button below. Enter your shipping and credit card information, and you'll get the 260-page Backyard Healing Herbs book rushed to your house right away. So, that pretty much sums it up. In this presentation, I've shared with you how Backyard Healing Herbs got its start, how I first found a reliable, effective, all-natural remedy for my cholesterol, how I discovered Grandma Mary's healing herb system, passed on to her from her grandfather, how he perfected it through years on the high seas visiting exotic lands and caring for the crew in his care, and how, if you can read a table of contents, you can quickly and easily grow remedies for virtually any health concerns you may ever face. How growing and formulating your own remedies can save you from the unexpected, dangerous, and potentially deadly side effects of Big Pharma's profit-hungry pill machine. How you can save hundreds by avoiding copays and OTC remedies. How you can even make a little cash on the side, if you choose to. And I've even shown you how modern scientific research has revealed that store-bought herbs are likely emptied of their vital, health-giving nutrients. I've shown you how growing your own healing herbs can be simple, easy, and fun. Plus I've shown you how having your own backyard pocket-sized garden is the best way to ensure you and your family stay healthy and strong, 100% naturally. Now, I want you to consider one final thought. For just a moment, I want to invite you to forget everything you've been told about medical prescriptions and healing remedies up until now. I want to invite you to think of your family's health not as a set of circumstances that funneled you into the medical industry's traditional RX-based approach, but rather, I want to invite you to think of your family's health as a choice. Now, do you remember that Robert Frost poem? Perhaps you read it in high school. The one about the road less traveled. He spoke of coming to a crossroads,